USD and it's one of the first trades that I've taken that has given me a really good cushion into the challenge, right? Being able to put me almost 50% through here. And I'll show you all of that in the back end as well. This trade setup is pretty significant because of how clean it actually printed and gave me the opportunity to trade, right? So USD here, this is the screenshot. As you can see, we have some Wyckoff theory distribution going on here, and we'll dive more into that there. So let me go to the chart here and just do a top-down analysis for everyone, right? Show you guys exactly every step of the way from the higher time frame why it is that I took this trade. I like to go ahead and go to the daily. And from the daily, I'm getting more powerful zones, right? I'm reading the overall bias or overall direction of the market by going to the higher time frames. What's important to mention is over the past few years, price has been trading significantly under 112. 112 has been the area where we've seen massive bearish sell-offs, right? In 2018, we saw a bearish sell-off. In 2019, more sells. In 2020, more sells with the pandemic, right? We were seeing a lot of sales, and this is really the first year that we've kind of breaking above. Just really important to note is, we're in some significantly yearly highs right now, right? Am I saying we're gonna get a complete melt to the downside? No. Can we experience some bearish retracement or some bearish action come into the market? I believe so, right? So from the daily perspective, we're seeing all of this liquidity be taken out. Finally flushed out all of the sells that were here, all of the sells that were here. Not only that, also triggered some potential buy stops that are in this area here from retail traders, right? So not only did we take stop losses, but we're also activating buy stops at the same time. And this is the psychology behind retail trading. If we activate buy stops, what's going to happen when they get a little bit of profit? They're happy. They think it's going to go straight to the moon. We capture them, and then price kind of returns. So that is a possible, that's something that's possible in the market, right? Because of the reaction that we're taking liquidity from the market as well. Right here on the daily time frame, I can identify my potential point of interest. This is the very last bullish candle before the strong bearish push downward. This right here is what started the market, right? Banks are going to want to come here and mitigate a lot of the buys that they took in this area, mitigate those, close those out, maybe for a small loss or break even, and then that generally pushes price down lower. Points of interest is a topic that I'll be going over in depth as well. But right now, I want to go ahead and drop down to the smaller time frames to kind of go ahead and show you guys the confirmations for the entry. For this particular trade, I had to drop down to the 5 minutes to be able to read and see what price was printing. At this moment here, the time of the screenshot, we were trading in this area here, but I noticed prior to that we were developing some potential distribution coming into the market here. I was noticing what was happening in this. And if we kind of map it out, the buyer's climax in this area here, right? So we have the buyer's climax. After the buyer's climax, what do we have? An automatic rally. After the automatic rally, we have our second tap that creates more liquidity to be taken out. After the second tap, we have our first indication of our SOW, right? Sign of weakness. This is almost like a clue, right? It's a sign of weakness that we may be getting ready to trade lower. After the sign of weakness, we have a up thrust. And this up thrust generally clears the liquidity from the second tap and also the buyer's climax. And after the up thrust, we have our U tap. So it is an up thrust after distribution. And this is really where we get our spring action, right? This is really where the last push upward before it starts to create bearish structure. Here is where I actually entered for my short. We were at I think 448. And I'll even drop down to the 1 minute so that we can actually refine it. Okay, so from the 1 minute, we can even see it a bit more visually, where we have our buyer's climax, we have our automatic rally, we have our second tap, our sign of weakness, our up thrust, clearing out this liquidity, and also our up thrust after distribution that creates our spring to be able to enter. The entry came from 448, this right here. Once I noticed that we were potentially creating our up thrust after distribution and we got to break below these lows here, this structure, that break below the structure let me know, like, okay, on a smaller time frame, on a 1 minute time frame, we are beginning to break structure, right? We are beginning to shift the direction of the market at this point, right? So what I did was waited for price to do it one more time. It breaks one structure and then this mini structure as well. Once we do that, I wait for a pullback. Waited for the pullback here. My price actually got triggered because of spread. So thankfully, spread kind of worked in my favor this time. And I got triggered. Price just started falling immediately, creating all the way to a 4.5 to 1. As I mentioned before, I want to be as transparent as I possibly can be. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the actual account that I'm trading. Why we got a really, really good entry up here off of this wick where price mitigated off of this order block here, point of interest, mitigated off of there, and just started falling, shift downward. I was able to take a good amount of partials on the way. So I'm currently at half. I'm halfway through the challenge, which is really good for 2 days work. Had I held, I probably would have passed the challenge, but it's okay. I'm really happy with what I was able to secure. It's a building game, right? It's not meant to be passed in one day, and that's one lesson that I've learned in the past. It's really necessary to take your daily goals approach. So if you have a daily goal, stick to it. Once you hit that daily goal, cut out of the markets, go do something, right? Step away from the markets, because that is at the time where you're risking the risk what you already made, and you never want to do that. That is the account there. This is just one of the trades. It's Tuesday, it's early in the week. I'm probably going to take some more trades. All in all, I'm really excited to be able to take you guys on this journey with me, to see from start to finish one of the setups that really got me pretty far ahead in the challenge in the early days, which I'm really thankful about. As the days go by, be on the lookout for more content, be on the lookout for more tips, more trading ideas, and always, hit that like button. Let me know what you would like to see.